Alright, today I am going to be replacing the handle of this knife. So a little backstory about this knife. This school year I was doing cross country and it was time for team pictures, and while we're standing in line for individuals, or taking individual pictures, one of the runners found this knife and he was messing around with it and all that, but at the end of the day he threw it back in the bushes and didn't want it. So I grabbed it. It was a little dirty, so I had to disassemble it, clean it, and all that. I recently put it back together, and it's a RTEX USA. I looked it up online just to see what it is. It's a cheap knife. You can get it for like $5. I took it off. I had a little clip that you can put on your belts. Had some paracord that was going on here and all that. Well, anyway. So I cleaned it up, put it back together, and I'm going to be replacing this handle. And you might be wondering, why am I replacing it? Mainly because it's plastic, and I plan on using this for hiking trips. So if I need to, I don't know, cut a piece of rope or use a knife for whatever reason on a hiking trip, I'll be using this knife. But it's all plastic and it doesn't really sound that good, so I don't really want to use plastic. So I plan on using some cedar fence boards and cutting it out to the shape of the handle and using it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. And now, time for time lapse. So what I'm doing right here is I have a cedar board and I am cutting, well, first I drew the outline of the handle, and I am using now a jigsaw to cut out the outline of the blade, or the handle for the blade. And yeah, it's hard to see, partly because I couldn't find a good angle for recording this part, so I apologize, but yeah, I'm traced the outline of the handle and I am now cutting it out. Alright, so I cut this out with a jigsaw and redrew the lines. I also drilled the holes for the screws, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to carve out the edge of the line so it fits nicely against the frame of the knife. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I have these cut out now. So these are the two handles. And I already tried them on to the pieces of metal that are going to be basically the backbone of it. And they fit, and the holes work and all that. This is actually the next day, so it took me a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is I have it marked here. And these are the sides that I'm going to round over. So this is what's going to be on the outside. And all this like little ugliness from the holes is all going to be carved off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the sides. I'm going to start with this one. What I'm just going to do is find which way the grain wants to go and carve. And just start rounding it over. And what I'm thinking of doing is kind of like a oval shape. So if you look at it here, whoa, it's not focusing. There it goes. This would be the highest point, and then it would round down to the other sides. And that's what I'm kind of thinking. And then when I get it all carved off, I'll get some sandpaper and sand it off and get it nice and smooth and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, so I have it all sanded down now to the point where I want it. And for the finish, I'm going to be using a Old English for light wood. So basically it's going to be an oil cover. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to be using this knife for hiking. So I'm going to be having it in my hand, having it in my pocket. And I am perfectly fine if this gets kind of this dirty color, because like you look at this is my carving knife. If you look at it, it's kind of like this darker color, when originally it was like this color, kind of a lighter color, but now it's a darker color, and that's just from the sweat of your hand. No, so I fully expect this knife to get kind of dirty. So I got some Old English on it, and I'm just gonna smother it, and it comes out a pretty nice color actually. I like that actually. Like cedar seems to always have a good finish with Old English or Danish oil. Those are the two main oil ones I use. And yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing. All right, so now with the handles all done, what I'm going to do next is assemble the knife. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, and here we go. Now it's assembled. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and I hope you all have a good day. See ya.